Hello viewers, it is time for Crime and Road Safety Watch, a program brought to your screens by the Zimbabwe Republic Police to highlight to you our roles and operations. My name is Onesisa Sibanda. The Zimbabwe Republic Police arrested 7 company executives who were manufacturing illicit brews using ethanol, water, flavors, and supplying them to the public and shops in the country. The ZRP spokesperson, Commissioner Paul Nyati, speaks more on this arrest.
It's quite sad, to be honest, to have a company operating without being properly registered. In the process, they are manufacturing illicit brews, which are being offered to Zimbabweans, and there is no license in terms of the proper procedures. What they only have is a wholesale liquor license, and they have the license from the local authority. But in terms of manufacturing, they don't have the paperwork. And above all, they are manufacturing illicit brews using ethanol, using flavors and water. And their laboratory tests have not been confirmed by any relevant authorities in terms of the country's laws. So as the Zimbabwe Republic Police, we have a constitutional mandate to make sure that the laws of the country are observed, to make sure that the lives of Zimbabweans are protected, and we will make sure that the law takes its course without fear or favor. And we even said that these illicit brews have been supplied to even some well-known shops, yet they have not complied with all the required procedures in terms of operating in the country. We have conclusively established that the employees were operating without being registered with the relevant health authorities. They had no food handling certificates, so meaning to say it's a health hazard, because they were handling foodstuffs, they were handling drinks for consumption by the generality of Zimbabweans. So the health hazards are very huge. That's why we have said, yes, the directors will face their charges, and then the employees will also face charges which are also specific to them. We also want to urge consumers to be very careful with some of the products they are seeing on the market. And if, the products are very suspicious, they must engage the authorities. They must engage the police, they must engage the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. They must also engage even the tax authorities to find out if these guys are really complying with the safety standards, the safety standards and security standards of the country.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police will not tire in fighting drug and substance abuse in the country. Detectives from CID Drugs and Narcotics recently acted on received information and tracked a foreign registered cross-border bus to a certain house along Acturas Road, Highlands, Harare, where they found the bus crew offloading some groceries into a DAF truck. The detectives searched the vehicles and recovered 59.5 kilograms of daha wrapped with yellow plastics. Subsequently, Memory Mukwasani, aged 33, was arrested for unlawful possession of daha after collecting the contraband from the bus crew. Meanwhile, James Vengesai, aged 43, Dumisani Moyo, aged 42, and Peter Matimba, aged 35, were arrested on 2 July 2025 at Park's illegal crossing point, Beitbridge, for unlawful possession of approximately 50 kilograms of daha. Moving on to Mashonaland East Province, police in Chivu arrested one suspect who was aboard a Harare-bound bus at a roadblock, leading to the recovery of 4 bags loaded with copper cables. Let us hear more.
In Mashonaland East Province, we are facing challenges of vandalism of public utilities. We have embarked on various strategies to curb this scourge, which include awareness campaigns, early morning rides, joint operations with other stakeholders. In a recent instance, ZRP Chivu Traffic received information that there was a suspect in a Harare-bound bus who was in possession of copper. Police officers teamed up and reacted and mounted a roadblock near Featherstone. They managed to intercept the bus and they identified the suspect, who had 4 bags stacked with copper, and was arrested. He was referred to Chief Magistrate Court, where he was remanded in custody. I would like to thank the members of the public for supporting police by supplying information which helps us in detection of crime.
In other news, the Zimbabwe Public Police is conducting a comprehensive operation to crack down on theft of motor vehicles and robbery cases in Harare and surrounding areas. As a result, 12 suspects who were involved in 9 cases of theft of motor vehicles and robbery were arrested from 10 to 24 June 2025. The arrested suspects are Edwin Kuchgarawanza, aged 24, of Mutumbi Village, Chief Seke; Akinaton Mvere, aged 32, of Budiriro 5, Harare; Solomon Nyashanyu, aged 48, of Ushewo Kunze, Harare; Farai Sandura, aged 37, of Highlands, Harare; Simbarashe Kariwo, aged 38, of Belvedere West, Harare; Billy Willard Maseve, aged 40, of Pedlands Flats, Marondera; Tinashe Ndawonesa, aged 35, of Norfolk Board; Richard Muchena, aged 44, of Epworth, Harare; Wiseman July, aged 43, of Kuwadzana 5, Harare; MacDonald Bopoto, aged 37, of Overspill, Epworth, Harare; Zenzo Churu, aged 39, of Zengeza 4, Chitungwiza; Bright Mchganazo, aged 34, of Glenview 8, Harare. In one of the cases, Edwin Kuchgarawanza, aged 24, stole an Isuzu radio and $40 United States during a beer drinking spree at Monkey Shoulder nightclub, Seke, Chitungwiza, on 30 May 2025. The vehicle was recovered during the arrest of the suspect on 10 June 2025. In another case, Akinaton Mvere, aged 32, and Solomon Nyashanyu, aged 48, were arrested after stealing a 30-ton trailer at a car park in Tenwald in January 2025. On the other hand, Farai Sandura, aged 37, Simbarashe Kariwo, aged 38, Billy Willard Maseve, aged 40, and Tinashe Ndawonesa, aged 35, were arrested for robbing a complainant of his Nissan Selfie in Chitungwiza on 29 May 2025. The accused persons had been offered a lift from Harare Central Business District to Chitungwiza. Meanwhile, Richard Muchenga, aged 44, and Wiseman July, aged 43, were arrested in connection with 3 counts of robbery of motor vehicles in Kuwadzana, Harare, Harare Central Business District, and Chitungwiza. The suspects were targeting pirate taxis and revelers at beer drinking spots. Most of the arrested suspects have appeared before the courts. The Zimbabwe Public Police reiterates that there is no going back in the fight against crime in the country. Motorists are urged to properly secure their vehicles at car parks, whether at home, central business district, or nightclubs, shopping centers, and other relevant places. Above all, drivers should not offer lifts to strangers in order to curb robbery cases involving vehicles. Moving on, the Zimbabwe Public Police confirms the arrest and conviction of Gift Maposa, aged 36, and Pokiseng Dube, aged 27, for 3 counts of armed robbery, which occurred between 13 December 2024 and 22 February 2025 in Mwenezi, Masvingo. On 22 February 2025, detectives acted on received information that Gift Maposa was one of the suspects committing some robberies along the Masvingo Beitbridge Road, where they would target unsuspecting travelers during night time. The duo would set a trap for motorists by blocking the road with stones, and when motorists reduced speed or tried to remove the stones, the two would emerge from the darkness with pistols and threaten to shoot victims while demanding cash and valuables. In one of the cases, the duo shot and injured 2 victims after they had tried to resist. The detectives apprehended Gift Maposa, who then implicated his accomplice Mpoki Seng Dube, leading to his arrest in Beitbridge. The two have since appeared before the Chiretsi Regional Magistrate Court, where they were both convicted and sentenced to 144 years imprisonment. From that story, we take a short break. Join us in the second segment of Crime and Road Safety Watch. We are in the second segment of Crime and Road Safety Watch. ZRP Kweluchena in Matabeleland North Province arrested one accused person for stock theft cases and recovered 6 cattle out of the 9 that were reported. This is among various crimes which are prevalent in this area. The officer in charge, Kweluchena, spoke on this at a crime awareness campaign they recently held in their area.
Crimes of concern in my area, there is stock theft, there is murder, and to some extent unlawful entries. But of concern is stock theft. Recently we had a case of stock theft whereby a person lost his 9 beasts, and of the 9, however, we did manage to recover 6 and accounted for one of the accused persons. So we are making follow-ups, we are making efforts to account for the remaining accused person. Also in my area of policing, we are having a problem with murder cases. And if we look at the age group of the people who are committing these crimes, we talk of early 20s, late 20s, which is an area of concern. From December up to now, we have received about 5 cases, and of the 5 cases, we have managed to account for the accused persons. We are still making follow-ups for those who are still outstanding. As a station, we are making efforts so that we reduce crime and we remove fear of crime from Kweluchena people. Over and above, we are engaging the chiefs, we are engaging the headmen, local leadership, we are engaging them in a bid to try and fight the crime in the area. Wherever they are having their village meetings, whenever they are having meetings with their subjects, we make use of those gatherings to make our campaigns and to conscientize people about the crimes in our area.
We now move on to this week's road safety segment. Let us hear more from the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
The Traffic Safety Council Zimbabwe recently received the Southern Region Excellence in Leadership and Management Award from the Zimbabwe Institute of Management. The key considerations given in accepting the award from our perspective was the issue of devolution, where we were recognized for opening 2 offices, one in Matabeleland North, based in Wange, and the other in Matabeleland South, based in Gwanda. The impact of that is that originally the whole of Southern region was being served by our Bulawayo office. So in trying to decentralize our products and services, we ensured that Matabeleland South is represented by an office, and Matabeleland North has got also another traffic safety office. This devolution drive improved our presence and also helped in ensuring that our products and services are accessible to the public. We've also improved our presence on social media by opening a WhatsApp chatbot, ensuring that as people access to our WhatsApp chatbot, they will get all the information they require about our products, our services, our operational times, as well as our offices. We were also recognized for the corporate social responsibility initiatives that we are undertaking, and specifically for the southern region, we recently partnered Zinara and supported Gwanda Provincial Hospital by various medical equipment and sundries, specifically for Traffic Safety Council Zimbabwe, where we supported the hospital with 90 mattresses, 90 pairs of sheets, and 90 blankets, which were to be availed to those that would have been involved in road crashes. Then there is also the issue of financial performance. We are one of the parastatals that are up to date with our financial accounts, our annual general meetings, and we are fully compliant with all the statutory corporate requirements. And finally, we are also working on another project in Masvingo, where we are at 80% and the target being to complete it by December this year. All of these areas are the aspects in which the Zimbabwe Institute of Management considered before awarding us with an award. We are therefore honored and humbled for being recognized in such.
Moving on, the Zimbabwe Republic Police is not backing down on its efforts to bring sanity on the country's roads. Police spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati spoke on this.
I want to remind Zimbabweans that in terms of bringing sanity on the country's roads, especially in CBDs, it's not something which can happen in a day. It's a process. And the process which the Zimbabwe Republic Police is seriously undertaking. We are working closely with the relevant stakeholders, who include the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works, the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development, so that a wholesome approach is undertaken to make sure there is law and order by public service operators. From the 9th of January 2025, in Harare only, the Zimbabwe Republic Police has accounted for 11,391 pirate taxis, where the offenders have been fined and some of them have been taken to courts. We also want to take this opportunity to urge vehicle owners, those who intend to engage in the passenger carrying business, to regularize their operations, to register with the relevant authorities, and above all, to contribute towards the maintenance of law and order in the country.
We take another short break. Join us in the third and final segment. We are in the third and final segment of Crime and Road Safety Watch. Thank you for staying with us. The Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to train its personnel for effective and efficient execution of duties. This training is not only limited to members of the police service, it also stretches to members of the public who are involved in community policing initiatives. Recently, ZRP Hillside held a one-day workshop to train its members of the Neighborhood Watch Committee.
Since its inception in 1980, the ZRP made a commitment to pursue a philosophy of policing by community participation. This rebranding process saw a positive shift in the policing landscape, hence the introduction of community policing initiatives such as Home Officer Scheme, Crime Liaison Committee, Neighborhood Watch Committees, Police Constabulary, Business Against Crime Forum of Zimbabwe, and the recently launched Bulawayo Police Churches Partnership. Hillside residents, I am very proud of you as a community. You heeded the call and come on board to fight our common enemy, which is crime. Your efforts toward this goal have never gone unnoticed. 4 Neighborhood Watch Community patrol vehicles were purchased and launched with the assistance of members of the communities. I am reliably informed that since your formation, you never looked back or fluttered in your quest to eradicate crime. Members of the Neighborhood Watch Committees, you have been taught drill movements, discipline, customer care, community policing, use of police force, powers of police, and arrest procedures and human rights. These lessons will go a long way in assisting you to discharge your duties effectively. However, for community policing to flourish, it takes high level of dedication, commitment to duty by individual police officers and members of the Neighborhood Watch Committee. As you go about your daily routine, individual citizens are encouraged to take note and anonymously pass information that may assist the police to arrest and prosecute criminals.
We have had such a successful day today because we managed to train over 70 of our patrolling neighborhood watch committees. They have been trained in the nitty-gritties of policing. And the exciting thing is that we were very fairly balanced in the sense that we had a fair number of females as well as men. And these are very committed people. Certainly, no one is being left behind as far as policing, neighborhood policing in Zimbabwe is concerned.
I would just like to thank the police of Hillside for taking the time to bring this training session to all those involved in the Neighborhood Watch. I'd also like to thank the members that have been involved in catering for the day and all those that have donated towards this initiative.
It is now time for people on the police wanted list. ZRP Chitungwiza is looking for Shelter and Shizio Gumbo of 17537 Unit L, Seke, Chitungwiza for a case of murder. Kudakwashe Zomba Kazingizi of 27882 Unit L, Seke, Chitungwiza is wanted by ZRP Chitungwiza for a case of murder. Brian Changa of 8082 Unit K, Seke, Chitungwiza is wanted by ZRP Chitungwiza for a case of rape. Should we have information that may assist in the location of any of those wanted persons, feel free to visit any nearest police establishment or contact us on the following details. Call us on our National Complaints Desk number 0242 703 631. Visit our website www.zrp.gov.zw or email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. You can also get in touch with us on our X platform at Police Zimbabwe or on our ZRP Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. You can also watch all Crime and Road Safety Watch episodes on ZRP YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Onesisa Sibanda, and the Crime and Road Safety Watch crew behind the scenes, see you next time.